First off, welcome guys. Chris Krimitzel's here with Podfest Expo, and we're doing the Podfest Global Expo. Melanie Benson's with me. Melanie, welcome to this deep dive, not deep dive, but dive into what you're going to cover at Podfest Global Expo. Can you talk about transforming podcast guesting into a 24/7 authority boosting sales force?
Sure. I'm excited to share what I've been learning. I've been podcasting for 8 years now, and I've been on close to 1,000 podcasts and interviewed probably close to that many people. And, Chris, one of the things I've realized is that people want to use podcast guesting to drive traffic, to get better leads, to get more opportunities, to get listeners, but they don't really know what to deliver to turn it into a real client attraction and opportunity magnet. So what I'm going to cover is what makes podcast guesting so unique and how to turn it into what I call your 24/7 sales force. So there's little things you can do from the minute that the podcast guest interviews you all the way through when it airs, so that this episode is working for you 24/7 to bring you more clients, to bring you leads, and to get you some more coveted opportunities. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how to make sure you're not wasting time and effort. Because, let's think about it. If we were spending an hour a week, we could actually produce at least another $5, $10, sometimes even $25,000 a month in revenue from the leads that come from it. But you got to make sure that you're using 3 key steps to getting on the right podcast. And last, I want to share a couple of things that I learned about using showstoppers and bold influence formulas and what I call my rocks method, which makes sure that from the minute someone reads the title of your podcast, it's producing buzz and getting people excited and turning them from being a passive listener to being an engaged and excited potential buyer.
I'm excited because of the you also have the golden thread, which, following the thread and leaving a breadcrumb for people to follow. These are the kind of presentations that we really want to bring to people. And we think that subject matter experts like yourself, who've done over 1,000 interviews, what I'm excited about is not only are you presenting, but you'll be within the architecture of what we're setting up virtually. You're someone that people should know and know about. So Melanie, I know people know you, but our community, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to find this. And I always tell, I know you probably get this, but a lot of people are like, oh, what's the big deal podcasting? And I tell them the same thing you do. This is on-demand 24/7 content. Do you understand what that means? And they look at me like puzzled. I'm like, when you're sleeping, there's people listening to this stuff. And it's important to take it seriously. So I highly recommend what you have to talk about. I'm going to be, if I can't watch it in real time, obviously I'll be watching the recordings. But join us at podfestexpo.com is where you can register. The cool thing about this is you can register for a free pass, and then we have premium passes for the amazing presentations that you'll see. Melanie, I'm excited to see what you bring to the table. I'm already, just from, you and I had a pre-conversation, just the things that you shared with me. This is where I always tell people, if you pick up one little nugget, like you might be doing everything correctly, and then someone like you comes in and tweaks it. That little tweak could amount to like a percentage of increase in income and revenue or exposure that you just didn't realize was already under your nose. So thank you for being part of this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to connecting with all of our Podfest fam.
Awesome. Podfestexpo.com. Thanks, Melanie.